Steve is one of the world's highest paid professional public speakers. He's a former professional athlete and national coach, and he's spent the past 25 years studying the thought processes, habits, and philosophies of world-class performers. Today, he helps Fortune 500 companies increase sales through mental toughness training. Steve is the author of several books. His first book, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class, sold over 100,000 copies. He also has a national TV show called Mental Toughness with Steve Siebold, and it won the 2007 Telly Award for Most Outstanding Motivational Talk Show. He's been with us today sharing some of his most powerful professional speaking techniques and how you can use them to catapult your career and increase your income. I want to talk a little bit about your TV show. How did that all come about for you?
Well, I was speaking at a convention, and a television producer from Dallas came up and said, "We'd love to put you on TV, have a regular show that would, air all over the country," and it kind of went from there. It was really a great break for me.
Your late business partner, Bill Gove, was known around the world as certainly the father of professional speaking. Tell us a little bit about him and what he taught you.
He was an amazing guy. He was just a lovely human being, but he was so technically competent in doing this. I would say he was the greatest keynote speaker I've ever seen, and a lot of people have ever seen. But what he really taught me, and so many other great speakers, was the system. The system of professional speaking. What to do on stage, what not to do on stage. Everything that encompasses the system of what you need to know to work small conventions, but also 10, 20, 30,000 person stadiums. And just it was an amazing break for me to have a chance to learn from Bill.
You don't think about the technical aspects that might be involved in actually just getting up and giving a speech.
Right. It just looks like you're up there talking.
Right.
And of course they're not, because companies aren't going to pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 an hour for someone just to stand up there and talk.
Yeah.
Now people think that sometimes, well, you just start at this time and end at this time. But obviously there's more to it than that. I mean, everyone can do it, but there is a process, there is a system to this. And Bill Gove was the master of the system.
Companies come to your workshops, but they also send their employees, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Companies send their employees. I mean, all the time we get people, especially managers. It starts with managers and goes all the way up to CEOs and presidents. Anybody
that you've encountered in your workshops over the years that comes from a really unique background that then took that and started doing a career and using that as their public speaking platform?
Oh yeah, we've had everybody. We've had CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. We've had alligator wrestlers. We've had zookeepers. We've had just about comedians, jugglers. Wow. And then also doctors, attorneys, accountants, housewives. We've had many housewives that said, "I have something to say. I've had some life experience. I'm 65 years old and I've been around, and I want to talk about parenting, or I want to talk about this or that."
Right.
A lot of these people experience the same thing I did with that, Grayson, in terms of they go out and speak, and when you're speaking to thousands of people a year are seeing you and getting to know who you are. They didn't know you 10 minutes ago. Now 10,000 people know you, and they come out of the audience and they make offers for all kinds of things if you're competent, if you're really good.
Right.
The offers are too many. You can't even respond to all the offers when you give a speech to a big audience. They chase you.
I bet.
It's amazing. It really is.
You get your own sort of paparazzi, right?
You get a following. Yeah, not so much paparazzi, but you don't, thank God. But but you do get a following of people who sort of believe in your philosophy or your point of view. And then whatever books you put out or CDs you put out, they tend to be like any other business. They tend to follow your things and buy your things and go to your seminars and programs. So yeah, you sort of build up a following. Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Well, I'm just going to do this business forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do this. Is the most fun. I mean, I'm sure there are ways to make more money. You can make a very good living in this business. There's no question.
Right.
But there's probably ways to make more money. There cannot be a way to have more fun making money than speaking. And even, again, if you have a job or a career or a business and speaking is not your main source of income or revenue, you can still have so much fun doing this. It is a blast. So I'm going to speak. My business partner practically died on stage. He was just a couple of days from giving a speech, and he passed away at almost 90 years old. And that's the way I plan on going. I'm going to be on stage, I drop, they haul me off, and I'm done. Because I'm never retiring.
Wow.
This is the greatest business in the world. It's so much fun. And you get to help so many nice people do better in their lives. It's just it's a winning. I just have never seen it. I've been in it full-time 13 years. I haven't seen a downside yet.
It must be amazing for you to go out and speak to people, and then they come back to your workshop, and then you end up seeing people that you've met previous to come to your workshop.
Yeah, they come from audiences and they'll say, you know, as I said earlier, when you asked, what do they ask you?
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, I'd love to do what you do. And you say, come to the Bill Gove Speech Workshop. And then they come to the workshop. 2 or 3 years later, you're in their audience watching them deliver a speech in front of 5,000 people. It's really a cool thing. It really is. It's good for everyone.
We're going to take a look at another clip here of you on stage in front of 8,000 people. Let's take a look.
Get down to the sales floor. Michael says, all right, you guys, fall in, let's go, let's go. He says, now look, I'm not going to waste any time introducing Steve Siebold because you already met him in Atlantic City. So let's just get on with it, okay? He said, here's the bottom line. I don't know what he's going to tell you because he hasn't even told me, but whatever he says, just do it, okay? I don't want any feedback. I don't want any pushback. Just do what the man says, all right? Okay? Then he starts pointing people out in the audience. Just do what he says. Do it. Do it special. Do what he says. He says, okay, Steve, go ahead. I was like, whoa, great intro. All right, good to be back in New York. And I said, well, congratulations on your success. I'm not going to change anything you're doing. It's obviously working pretty well. Just going to add a couple little things to your sales day, and then I'll get out of your way and let you sell. So if you reach in your front drawer of your desk, you'll find one of these moose head masks. I said, just go ahead and put it on there. Now imagine this. I got 300 Wall Street killers in Armani suits, and they are not happy. They're standing there looking at me like this. And finally, one of them goes, Michael, what's the deal? Come on, this is ridiculous. And Michael jumps and goes, I told you. Listen to what he says. Put it back on. Put it back on. Put it back on. He says, okay, Steve, go back. I'm trying not to laugh, right? But it's pretty funny. So I got to keep a straight face. So I go up and I go, okay, that's good. Keep your antlers up. That's good. Okay, if you reach in your second drawer, guys, you'll find one of these clown noses. Just go ahead and put it on there and
So you look great with the moose hat and the clown nose. I love that.
25 years I've studied mental toughness, Grayson. You know what people remember around the world about me? The moose head.
Right, exactly. We'd love to see all the Wall Street guys in the moose hat with the clown nose.
It was something to see.
You know, this is a point that you really want to make on the show. There is a difference between a commodity and a personality speaker, and explain that for us.
Well, 90% of the speakers out there are what we call commodity speakers. In other words, organizations want them to speak. Sometimes they pay them, sometimes they don't, depending on if they're fee-paid speakers or not. But they want them to speak because they're a topical expert. That's a commodity speaker. It's 90% of the people that give speeches. You want to be a personality speaker if this is something you want to do, because personality speakers are hired for who they are. And they're hired for their unique interpretation of the content that they speak about, write about, talk about on camera like this and different things.
Right.
So they're unique personalities. I'm a minor league art collector, very minor league art collector, and I just bought sunflowers from Van Gogh, the very famous painting. I was in Amsterdam speaking, and I bought sunflowers. Now sunflowers, the original, went for $82 million.
Right.
I didn't want to spend the $82 million.
No,
not that I didn't have it.
right,
You know, of course I had it in my
Yeah.
pocket. But I paid $600 for my copy of Sunflowers on the streets of Amsterdam next to the Van Gogh Museum.
Okay.
But the original cost $82 million. A commodity speaker is like a copy. And so they can charge, they can't charge as much as a personality speaker, because a personality speaker is a one-off original artwork. It's a one person does it in the world, and that's it. Right. That's what you want to be. If you're not speaking now, seriously consider doing this. Your life will just open up. Your business life will open up. Your personal life opens up when you get out there and you're able to express your opinion on different topics. And as long as someone agrees with you, you're going to have an audience to speak to. And if you're a speaker already, go to the Bill Gove Speech Workshop and take it to the next level. You'll be glad you did.